Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome back to Woman of Many Hats. Y'all, I know it's 8:08. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I was trying to fix the camera and I messed it up. So I was in here trying to scramble to get it back on track. But I'm here. I know no one's here yet. I was hoping someone would be here, but I'm gonna go on. But I just wanted to welcome y'all to a Woman of Many Hats, and this is our story time, tea time. Wait, let me get my tea, y'all. Wait just a minute. Mm. All right, I'm back. Got my stuff. This is story time, tea time, and I just wanted to start coming live so we can start interacting as much as I can with you all. That way, you all can put questions in the chat. I can answer, but I had a put that over there so I can see. I had a something that I wanted to share with you all. The Lord had laid it on my heart. I was asking, what should I say about the story time, tea time? I know my mom, she kept asking me about the story time, tea time. So, Mama, if you are watching, I am here. I am here. So, and I want to be live. I want to be live. So now y'all see, I can be live to do this for you all. And then we can interact. You put your questions in and I can answer them or whatever it may be. But anyway, I'm looking for a good time with the story time, tea time live, learning, asking questions, learning about you all that come on the channel and giving away some knowledge that I've gained over the years. Not just all spiritual. As you all come on, I got some other things that I want to talk about too. So, and hopefully somebody in there can maybe answer some of my questions as well. So that's what Woman of Many Hats about. It's about all of us coming together, sharing what we know, what we have, experience we've had to help one another. Because this is a year that we want to grow, we want to excel, we want to walk in our callings, we want to do all the things that God have called us to do, whether it's natural and spiritual. So we want to have a balance this year. We don't want to be way up here in the spirit and down here in our finances in the natural. We want to try to get that balance going this year. So that's one of the things that I've asked God for as I walk in this new season, to give me that balance that I need with Him and, the things that I have to do as far as everyday living and our careers, or whatever we have chosen, the path we've chosen for the careers. I pray that the Lord will help each and every one of us and strengthen us so that we can, get up and do what we need to do so that we can get some of our blessings this year. Because, He's prophesied many, but there are many that are supposed to manifest this year. So I hope that many of you, that see this and listen to this, that you begin to get up and do what God is telling you to do. But I'm not going to prolong the time. I wanted to, let me get this here. I wanted to go over this that the Lord had put in my spirit, because I was asking Him, I'm like, what do I, really need to talk about? And He just told me to talk about an experience that I went through in the last 4 years. And I didn't understand it until I came out of it. I didn't totally understand it until I came out of it. But it's talking about bouncing back from intertwining failure and fear. That's what it's talking about. And what that means is the concept of the two means failure is so closely connected to emotional fear that they essentially become inseparable, where the thought of failing triggers significant anxiety and fear, often preventing individuals from taking risk or attempting new things due to potential negative results. And so, just me looking at that's some of the things that I experienced from the failure, bouncing back from intertwining failure and fear. I didn't know that that's what was happening to me over the last 4 years. I think the last time I was on I think it was Facebook. I think it was Facebook, and I was ministering. But at that time, I was going through naturally at the same time. And so looking back on what I was going through, being rejected spiritually and being rejected naturally in my natural life, that was a lot. That was a lot at the same time. At the same time, that was a lot. I was in a position of authority, but yet, you know, walking through all of that rejection. And what it did, walking through that rejection, it kind of brought like fear on the inside of me, because I was doing all that I could to do what God had called me to do. And it seemed like nothing that I was doing was enough. It wasn't enough. That's what it seemed like to me at that time. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And when I left my job, and this is time when I had to move from where I lived, where I grew up at, and I moved to Jacksonville. The transition and all of that, it just, how can I put it? It did something to my spirit, because I felt that all that I was doing and all that I was, trying to help, different people and trying to do what was right, I just got like, it felt like I was just trampled on. And it brought a withdrawing spirit on me. And I knew that was the enemy. I knew it was the enemy. But I was so crushed at that time. I just want to keep going. I was so crushed at that time. And when I finally transitioned here, I dealt with the same thing over and over and over and over. And so, in going through all that, even though I kept going, y'all, my spirit was crushed at that time. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. And I felt that I had failed at everything. I wound up losing my job. I wound up have to leave. I wound up losing my house where I was, coming here. It was, but do you see what I'm saying? I lost my job and my house coming here, transitioning here to where God had told me to transition. And looking back at it, it just did something to me, because I felt like this was the second time that I had tried at this, and I had failed. I felt that I had failed. One time before, the Lord had blessed me with a house, and I was married. And now at that time, I couldn't see everything, but I was married to the wrong person, and I lost the house. And then this was the second time that I had gotten something that I knew the Lord had blessed me with, and then I lost it. And so I felt that in losing this time, like I was a failure. That's just how I felt. That's just how I felt. I didn't understand it all at the time when I was going through it. The Lord had told me, He said, I want you to leave. And I'm going to give y'all something. Y'all that are going through, I'm going to help somebody. Y'all that are going through these evictions, and I know the Lord wants to let me talk about this. During that time when I was transitioning here, I was under eviction where I grew up at. I was looking at an eviction. And I was trying to stay. I was trying to get up the money to go and give it to the people. And I had met with the judge. The Lord had told me to pack, but I was packed like He said. But at the same time, I was trying to stay. because that's that spirit of failure. Like, if you don't try to save it, you're a failure. You're a failure. Look at you. Look at you. If you don't try to, you're a failure. And that's how I felt. And I never forget going to sit in front of the judge. And the company wasn't there. They never did show up that day, and I knew that was God. And I was sitting there talking to the judge, and the judge said, Miss Moran, he was asking me where I worked and everything, and I told him. He said, Miss Moran, he said, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. He said, but I feel that you need to move to Jacksonville. He said, I'm giving you advice, wisdom. This is my advice, that you need to move to Jacksonville. He said, don't try to keep the house. Just move. And when he said that, y'all, it was this confirmation in my spirit. I said, look at God talking. Look at him talking. That was a confirmation that gave me the strength to just get the rental truck and just and move, not knowing, how everything was going to turn out. After I received that from the judge, and me and him we sat there a little bit and we was talking. After I received that from the judge, the Lord showed me to put in an application in Jacksonville. And when I put in the application, it was a week and a half. The lady called me back and she told me I had the apartment. And I couldn't do nothing but smile, y'all. I just could do nothing but smile. I said, look at God using the judge. The talk, the way he was talking, it was like you could hear God talking through this man. And that was one that started the 4-year journey of me going through this failure, feeling like a failure, but didn't understand God was going to use all of this to bring me to where I am now. But I'm going to read it. It says, failure is not the end, but a new beginning. Failure is an important part of spiritual growth. It humbles us and reminds us of our need for God. To overcome spiritual failure, it's important to acknowledge the failure. Learn from it, confess it to others. The source of our strength is the Lord. And so I'm at a place now where I can really talk about it, because I went through 4 years. I left there in 2019 to 2024, with the end of 2019 and the end of 2024 is when the Lord, I got my healing and my deliverance from the spirit of failure. The reason why I could not, and I didn't understand why I could not excel at what I wanted to, the things I wanted to excel at, is because that spirit was still attached to me. Thinking about all the things that I had lost, why I could never excel the way that I wanted to. But I was looking at it wrong. I was excelling. God was teaching me through all these things that I was going through so that I can help someone else. And at the end of 2024, now let me take it back. During the process of me going through this spirit of failure and fear, which at times it would make me be withdrawn from getting up and trying again, getting up and trying again, getting up and trying again. It made me, be like that. And so during this process of God taking me through this, he was showing me that there were things This is the learning process. I'm telling y'all, there were things that, again, I needed to learn. I needed to learn. And as I was failing, which I thought I was failing at certain things, he was teaching me. Um, these are things that if you don't have the information, if you don't have the knowledge to, or if I'm allowing these things, there's something missing that you don't know. There's something missing that you don't know. And so just over the course, especially this last year, how can I put the Lord had to really talk to me. He had to really talk to me because I had got to the place where I didn't have it in me anymore to minister to his people. It's almost like the failing I thought was ministry. The failing I thought was I didn't have it anymore to give to anybody. That's what I was going through. I did not have it anymore to give to anybody. And I kept asking the Lord. I said, Dad, I don't have it in me to give. It's like I was so numb. I was so numb at times. And what God did for me, he loved me back to the place that I am now. And what I mean by he loved me back to the place, he kept showing so much love to me, so much overshadowing me with so much love. Let me know that I love you. He just kept telling me, I love you. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm proud of you. He just kept telling me those things at points in my life. He just kept telling me that because I had spent years trying to help other people, And everybody that I would try to go and try to help or whatever, I would always be pushed out, rejected, thought of as if nothing. And that spirit took over me. It took over me points in my life. I tried to get back up at certain times. I tried to do it. I tried to do it. But Daddy told me, he said, you have got to come to the place to know who you are in me. And I started listening to certain different ministers talking about that, knowing who you are, knowing what you're called to do, whom you've called to. And I started listening to all those things. And I was inspired by a lot of people. But I'm going to take y'all back. This is something he wanted me to say again. I'm going to take y'all back as far as ministry, what happened to me. At one point in time, I was close to this certain minister. And this is the reason why, and I'm talking to those that have been under ministry. I was close to a certain minister. And we would always be together. We would go and we would minister together, just different things. And this particular time that we were ministering, the Lord had showed me there was a spirit that had attached itself to this person. And it was a spirit that desired the gift that I had. And I tried to love this person the way that God wanted me to love, in spite of what God had told me about this particular person. And this particular day, I never forget, we were in church and this person came and started prophesying to me. And this is why I'm very iffy when it comes to don't run to prophecy. I don't do any of these things. I'm going somewhere with all this. You'll see why I came to begin to be like this. This specific person began to prophesy to me. And when this person was prophesying to me, the Lord told me it wasn't him prophesying. And there was a spirit that was transferred from this person to me. I didn't know, I wasn't, educated on all of this back then. And a day later, 2 days later, I fell sick. And when I fell sick, the Lord told me that the spirit that was attached to me had came to kill everything inside of me that God had placed in me. And this particular night, I always been a person of prayer. So I knew how to, I'll never forget, I was laying down on the bed and I was calling on the Lord. I was calling on Jesus. I was just calling on Jesus, like, to help me. And when I called on the Lord, I tell y'all no lie, the Lord, when I was calling out to him, this spirit, it was like it was attached to the walls of my spirit. And I can feel the Lord pulling that spirit, deliver me from it. And I could feel it like tearing from the walls of my spirit. I never forget this. I can feel it. And when it was all over, I could see I could see it moving. This is an experience I had. And this is why all what I'm talking about, and I'm bringing it up to where I can see it moving. And from that day, I was very afraid to get close to any other ministers or anybody with gifts or whatever from that day. That struck something in me from way back then. And over the course of going through different other things, that has been built in me for years. I didn't understand that this is what I was going through, this spirit of fear and failure, and linked together, which caused me to be the way that I was. And so this year that I coming up to 2024, and these last 4 years, it was a season that God had to walk me through deliverance. Walk me through deliverance. And when I say he had to love me back to the place where I loved ministering again, because of all the things that had taken place. These are some of the things that had taken place in my life. And after this fast, after the because I'm gonna cut it a little bit short. After this fast that I went on at the end of this year, that's when the Lord began to talk to me about this season I just came out of, because I didn't understand it. But I knew that I was delivered, because at the end of the year, there was so much joy of me wanting to start ministering to his people again, regardless of what had happened in the past, not being afraid anymore, not being afraid to use my gifts, not being afraid to connect with people, just not being afraid. And the enemy had me captured in that for a period of time. There were times I tried to come up out of it. But the joy now that I feel of wanting to get back out there and do what the Lord has called me to do It's awesome. It is so, so awesome. When I came off the fast, I just started crying because I knew I was delivered. I knew I was delivered. And then after God began to talk to me about the season, he told me what that season was. And I was just like, I had to go all through it. But when he said it was not fair. You think it was failure, but it wasn't failure. It wasn't. I was taking you through all of this, teaching you how to trust me, teaching you to look to me for the things that you need. Look to me, come to me for answers. Get your eyes off of people, because the things that I will tell you to do, many they're not they at first they're not going to understand it. And so I needed to strengthen you. I needed to pull you to me so I can tell you who you are, what your assignments are, where I want you to go, and you'll be able to follow me in faith. You'll be able to walk this thing out in faith. And that was the season he was taking me through. You know, there may be some other things that he haven't released yet. But I just want to tell somebody out there that if you are going through or coming out of something like that, because I gave you ministry, what I experienced in ministry, which caused the fear and me to feel like a failure, because I'm the type of person, I will help anybody. But there are sometimes experiences in our lives that we go through will cause that on our minds, and we'll begin to believe it because we don't see nothing else. We don't see, because it's like a consistent thing going on in our lives. But I thank God for what I went through. I think I couldn't see it then, but where I am now, I thank him for what I went through. I thank him for the experience. It gave me wisdom. It gave me knowledge, understanding, and it taught me how to walk by faith. And it kept me, one thing that all that I went through, it kept me running to him. It kept me running to him, not to people. It kept me running to him all the time to get answers, to get healing, to get deliverance, to eat his word. It just kept me running to him. And I thank him for that. I thank God for it. I do. I really thank him for it, because now it's not a problem for me to run to God for anything. The first thing I say, I got to go see what he got to say about it first. I'm not doing nothing. I got to see what he got to say about it first. I don't think nothing. I don't look at nothing else. And I just wanted to encourage you all, and listen to some of the things that I said. I talked about evictions, because that's one of the things that a lot of people are going through right now. Don't understand it. I talk about ministry, what happened to me in ministry, which caused that to happen on the inside of me. And it was a period of just building up and just, but what the enemy meant for bad, it was for my good. And now that I am delivered, I am over that. I've forgiven everybody. I love everybody. So I just want to, just thank God. I just want to thank him. And I pray that those that are listening to what I'm saying, what look bad is going to be for your good, especially if you're in ministry, if you're in your business. What looks bad, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Because this was during the time when and let me go back. I was being evicted. My business that I had started looked like it couldn't take off. And I was being pushed out of the position of my job during that time. And it sent me into a spiral because I was going through so much. And that's the reason why, for you all that were on those live, that was the reason why that you hadn't seen me ministering in a while. That was the reason why. But I am back. I am back, y'all. I am back. And I'm happy. And I'm ready to do what the Lord has called me to do. I just want to sit here and be transparent with y'all, because it's not easy to tell people your business. Well, really, your experience. I'll put it that way. It's not easy to tell them that. But I am delivered. I am set free from all of those things. And now that I am, gone through that season, I'm ready to help somebody else. So I told y'all, I said 15, 20 minutes, but it's 30 minutes. But I'm going to read this last thing to y'all. And this is how, as I was, give me just a minute. Oh, Lord, come on. I am having a time today, y'all. Okay. Okay, give me a minute, y'all. Yep, everything. Okay. Okay, it's for some reason my phone is acting up, so we just gonna go on with that. But anyway, as what really inspired me as I was reading the word was talking about Elijah, and I'm just going Elijah 19:4, where he had been fighting for the Lord. He was zealous for the Lord, doing what God has called him to do, and then he got this threatening message from Jezebel, and so as I was reading that, and I was thinking about Elijah of doing all the things that God had told him to do. And then he had come to a place where he was ready to give up as well. So it lets me know that we all may go through some season of sort like this. But we're going to come out of it. And so that's my thing, bouncing back from the spirit of failure and fear intertwined together, which causes you not to want to get back up because you're thinking about what happened the last time. That's what you're thinking about. And so it can grip you and it'll cause you not to move forward. But I'm going to leave y'all with this. I remember, and I was telling someone else this. I remember that my mentor had said, this was when I, first would start listening to him. I was listening to one of his videos, and he was talking about there would be a season that you would go through that people will kill the giver in you. They will kill the giver in you. You will feel like that. And I didn't understand what he was talking about then. But this season that I went through, I understand it now. I understand it now. I really, really understand it. It reminded me of when Jesus was saying that he wished that we all would come. He wanted us to be saved. And when he shed those tears, he was getting ready to go to the cross. It reminded me of him when he was talking about that. They were trying to kill everything that he was trying to give. And so when I thought about all of that there, I just like you're gonna be okay, Tandy. You're gonna be okay. And I want to tell somebody else out there, you're gonna be okay. You will be okay. And get up. I want you to get up. Get up like Elijah did. And keep moving forward. Get up like I did. Keep moving forward. Ask God to help you with whatever it is. Go to Him for your deliverance. Go to Him for your healing. Go to Him for it. Because in it, it's gonna be. I can't explain to you all. I know y'all see me smile. I cannot explain to you all how I feel in 2025, because He took all of that, all of those feelings and all of that fear. He took all of that away. He took it away, and I feel so refreshed and just ready to get up and move in the things that He's told me to do, regardless whether I'm rejected again, regardless of that, regardless whether, you know, it take time to do, get the things, regardless of those things. Because I understand it at a deeper level now. I understand it. So I'm just ready. But anyway, I done held y'all for 36 minutes. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. But I just wanted to talk to you all about bouncing back from failure and fear intertwined together, because that's what I dealt with. And so but it's good. What the enemy meant for evil, God turned it round for my good. I can't like really tonight. I can really like put it in words, because it's still like fresh for me. I can't like put it in words, but I understand it. God's gonna let me really, I do. I understand it, and I'm just so happy on the inside. I'm so happy on the inside. So, but anyway, I thank y'all for listening, and we will. I'm gonna try once a week, once or twice a week. I'm gonna try once or twice a week to get on this live and for us to talk about these type of things. And see, by me sitting here telling y'all that, I'm free. I am so free. I think that's why I feel so free, y'all, because a lot of things, I haven't said it in years, but I am free from it now. I'm free. I can just go on. And hopefully this helps somebody else. Hopefully it does. It helps somebody else. I pray that it does. But anyway, I'll be leaving my updates on this live here, not on the live, but on the chat. I'll be leaving on the community chat. I'll be leaving the updates on there. What days I'll be going live. I try to do it a couple of days ahead of time. And what times and those type of things. But I want to really get over, because I'm trying not to minister on this platform, because I want to really go on other platform and minister y'all. But I just pray that you were blessed tonight. And if you wasn't here at the live, that you would watch this, you watch it back. Anyway, I will talk to y'all. But I'm leave you with this. May the Lord watch between me and thee, while we're absent one from another. This I ask in Jesus' name. And I will see you on the next video.